in a few seconds now.
So this race will be a little shorter than your average race because they're running in Japanese. So I guess the runners are too busy or don't have time to wait another 3 minutes.
Or it could just be they, want to run the faster version. I mean, no one wants to waste an additional, 3 or 4 minutes on text? Or is it 2 or 3?
I mean, yeah, it's a speed run and you got to go fast, but sometimes you just got to take it slow, just like Monkey and in his climb.
Don't think going slower is going to help him out very much in this scenario, though.
You know what's really interesting is that in tournaments, you win first place, you lose second place, and you win third place. So, in my opinion, getting third place is more of an achievement than it is to get second place. When you think about it, you have to win to get third place. But in order for you to get second place, you have to lose.
Sure. I'm not entirely sure I agree with that sentiment, but we'll go with it.
So, have you really earned second place?
I mean, you really think about it. They both had to lose their semifinal match to get actually into this position. So really, when you think about it, all they did was they just lost one more time. Whoever gets third place just lost one more time than the guys who get first and second.
That's true.
So, I mean, really, you're just losing an additional time. So as I said, the start of the run, pretty straightforward. You're not really going to see any variance here from any percent. They're going to go and they're going to grab the same set of items. There's one missile tank where some any percent runners don't grab that they'll be grabbing. But I'm pretty sure Eagle grabs main deck missile, and I think Monkey does as well, so they actually won't be playing any different than their normal 80% routes, at least until they get into Sector 1.
Yeah, there are a few variants in routes. Getting main deck missile early versus late. And then there's Sector 4, getting the missile before or after Ceres. Sector 5, getting the puzzle room after Ice Beam. Ice Missile, sorry.
Yeah, there's just quite a few items where it's like, you have to go to this sector multiple times, and you have to enter the room adjacent to the item multiple times, and it just becomes a question of when do you want to grab it. And there are a few cases where there isn't really an optimal time, or if there is like an optimal time, it's not really a whole lot slower to get it at a different time.
Yeah, and like the difference in the routes is so small that it really comes down to runner's preference.
Now, for the case of main deck missile, it does make the first sector a little bit easier, although they can go back and get it later with... I'm not even sure it's actually technically slower to get it later, but it makes Sector 1.
It should be faster to get it later because you have high jump. And leaving that room makes it easier with high jump. But you are, like you mentioned, getting it early will help you out in Sector 1 in case there are any troubles. But then again, you shouldn't have any troubles. So, like I said, it's the runner's preference.
Would wager both of our runners are actually going to get that missile, though, on the first time they see it.
Yeah, Eagle always gets it early.
Let's see, he gets an any percent, doesn't he?
Yeah, he also gets it at any percent.
So he's definitely going to be getting it.
So both runners getting a roll on Arachnus here, and looks like Eagle pulled ahead just a little bit.
Yeah, ideally you don't want to get any rolls, but if you do get a roll, I guess in this scenario, just hope your opponent gets one as well.
Yeah.
So neither player got ruined by the RNG more than each other, so...
Yeah, in a race, I always hope that my opponent has worse RNG than me.
Typical Ross.
We have Mandatobi joining us.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Hello.
It's like we're actually two like destructors here as well. We just wanted to ask if it would be okay to join you on commentary.
Doesn't bother me.
I'm fine with it.
Does someone have the link to the restream?
Yes.
Thank you.
Right, so going into Sector 1, we see Eagles got a little bit ahead of Monkey right now, but not a huge amount yet. See a little cutscene here.
You know, the Federation has spent a lot of money building BSL. It's just rude for SAX to shoot missiles and destroy walls and doors.
I mean, you think about it, they did kind of capture it and still in a container. It's probably pretty angry right now.
Well, I mean, if you're angry in someone else's house, do you start breaking doors and walls?
If they kidnapped me, maybe.
You should just leave the house, is my opinion.
Well, that's true. I would probably... Well, hey, that could be what the SX is doing. It's just more effective to shoot the door open with a super missile.
Yeah, I mean, look at it from the SX perspective. You were just created artificially, and now you're locked in. What would you do? Like,
I find the
exit, yeah.
I find the host and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be here. Can I get out, please?" Monkey taking a hit by one of those green jelly things. He's gonna have to try to get full health again, or he's gonna run out of missiles.
Yeah, notably in Sector 1, and the big reason we mentioned getting the main deck missile is because in Sector 1, having your health at full is pretty critically important because you want to be getting constant missile drops. If you have full health, every drop you get will be a missile drop. But if you don't have full health, then you can get health drops. Now, with the missile counts they have, and with RNG, they have a good chance of being fine, but you still would rather not have to rely on RNG to give you missiles, so...
Yeah, this is where that main deck missile is really helpful. Just imagine Eagle having 7 missiles right now instead of 12. Or Monkey with 4 instead of 11. Or 6 instead of 11. Yeah, so getting that main deck early is pretty useful. Monkey will have some issue. He's gonna have about 6 missiles up to the pirate room, and he's gonna shoot 3, at least 3 in the pirate room, so he'll have exactly 3 going into the eye door. He'll have no rooms for mistake in terms of trying to get the double. That is, of course, if he doesn't get any green drops here, which I don't think he will. Called it.
I was gonna say if he had to kill 3 pirates, he would have gotten some off the last pirate.
I think he'll get a drop from the crab though.
Oh, he got hit though.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
he won't.
He can afford to miss 1 double, but he should not attempt it twice. He's not going to do it at all, so he's playing it safe.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're not, you can even going for the double, you can even screw it up to where you don't even. You can even screw it up to where you don't hit it with any of your 2 missiles.
It's like whack-a-mole. He's got 1 missile left, and the eye door kept showing the beam face, and like a part of me wishes the monkey accidentally shoots a missile.
And being missiles.
Yeah. And having to go back down to get the frog, to farm frogs.
Yeah, it's not fun at all. And like you mentioned earlier, if he didn't pick up main deck missile, he would have definitely had to have farmed.
Yeah, it's not only about the time loss, it's also like a cycle thing, you know, when you get like really frustrated when you make huge mistakes like that early on, especially in a race like this.
Yeah,
it can really impact your gameplay.
Yeah, and
there's so much to catch on later on, but
I don't think Eagle is one to lose composure in race of any magnitude, whether it's group stage race or a tournament or even a finals. So well, I'll take that back. The zero mission finals was kind of OP, but aside from that anomaly, Eagle is typically very composed in his races.
Yeah, I've never seen him go easy on someone.
I mean, there's a reason that he has won the 3 previous GBA Metroid tournaments.
Yeah.
And that is part of the reason.
But that's also what makes this races so interesting to watch, because you know you'll get a good run, like no matter what opponent he's facing.
Monkey deciding to shoot the door before he can.
It's like in the underwater sector, in sector 4, you know, when you open the red doors you can place a power bomb before you actually open the doors, and then during that animation the power bomb goes off and opens the door even though it's technically not open yet. So I think he was trying to do something like that, like shoot the door and then get onto the platform.
Yeah, I believe it's like it's literally the frame you start the security room animation. It unlocks the doors, but they don't actually start glowing until the end. But, so that's why if you place the power bomb, it does that.
He didn't have to shoot at the door because that door in particular automatically opens after the nap room is done. So I don't know what he was doing there.
Yeah, he was confusing rooms, like thinking he was already on the way out, trying to do a spin cancel.
Sector 2, the Eagle is running into right now, and Monkey's about to get into, is probably the most dangerous sector in the race early on. Lots of things here that can damage you and kill you. In particular, some red pancakes. I think I've seen someone die to the blue Zoro. I believe somebody died to it, or almost died.
I think JC died to the pancakes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
JC and Red. What's his name? Red, something Red. His name. He died there as well.
Red Cloak.
Red Cloak, yeah. Dies to Red Pancake. And then, most notably, SAX after Zazabi kills some runners too. So they have to make sure that they are on top of their game here. I would expect nothing less from these 2 third place finalists, racers. Yeah.
Okay, so Eagle getting the bombs while Monkey unlocking the doors. Bombs are... well, would you say they're useful?
No. I mean, really. They're useful in that they expose secret paths, or in this case, intended paths.
But apart from that...
There are only 2 known uses for JBJ in 100%. And they save you some time, like maybe a split second, but it's not necessary to do.
Yeah, but what about that Sector 6 strat? People started using that?
Oh yeah, that actually saves time. Like, it's a considerable amount of time because you don't have to loop around the room twice.
But has anyone timed it?
Not that I know of. it just seems a lot faster than having to go up and down twice.
It's like, if it looks faster, it's gotta be faster.
Yeah, definitely. So Monkey's not that far behind. I would guesstimate between 20 to 30 seconds.
Yeah, like MonkeySMB can very well change that. Both runners are also doing okay health and ammunition wise. As Rosso said, this sector is intense. But if you know your stuff and you can assume that these runners know what they're doing, it shouldn't be too bad. Like, they're usually like enemies kind of different patterns, and that depends on RNG. But even then, the amount of patterns they can give you are limited, and usually you can react to them quite quickly, or just damage boost through.
Yeah, even casually playing the game, Sector 2 is really difficult. And like part of the reason why I think I've seen, I watch casual streams every now and then, and I see the players like react to the Zorro when they shoot at it, and it starts moving faster, and it hits them anyway, right? So, yeah, it's something that you don't see here in races because we kill Zoros instantly, or we try to at least. So you don't actually notice them moving faster when they get hit. I've seen runners try to kill the blue Zoro and use up all their missiles, and the blue Zoro ends up killing them or something like that. And you know, so even then, casually Sector 2 is pretty difficult.
Is the blue Zoro guaranteed to give you a red X?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it should, considering how many missiles you need to spend to kill it.
Yeah, though the special colored enemies, I think all of them are guaranteed to give you a red X. Like the red crabs and of course the blue Zoro. And I'm sure there's some others that I'm missing.
Okay, looks like Eagle got a lot of jumps there.
Yeah, he did.
And
Monkey
as well.
He better jumps. Let's see if Eagle does sack skip here. Pray for Eagle, everyone. I hope he doesn't. It's not worth it. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Oh my god. He's gonna morph here, I think. Yeah, he adopted morph strats recently. It's not as fast as the optimal way to do sacks, but it is much safer in that if you mess up the timing of it, you can spring ball and avoid the ice beams.
Yeah, I mean, any of those strats are still going to be faster than waiting for it to leave the room, so...
Yeah, but if you're this far ahead, would you try to be that risky?
If I suspected that my opponent could catch up, yes. But if I was pretty confident my opponent wasn't going to catch up, I'd probably just wait.
Let's see if Monkey attempts it here. Let's pray for Monkey as well. It looks good so far. Okay.
Yeah, it should be good.
Nice. No deaths here in the third place match. At least yet. Not yet. So... we have a race.
I can understand why Monkey went for it. I mean, he's got to assume that he's not in the lead and that he's going to have a hard time beating Eagle. So, yeah, I can definitely understand that he went for it.
Oh no, Monkey having some platforming issues here. That side hopper does, I think, 50 damage, and he's only at 200 health. So, getting hit by that, it's pretty bad news. Oh, so Eagle says that he's on PB pace, so he doesn't want to ruin it.
Ooh. Even with that Zaz,
like you gotta race one thing or the other, right? You gotta either race your opponent or race your PB. You can't race both, because if you start trying to do PB attempts in your race, you try to do PB strats, you might die, and you know, it's not something you want to do.
Okay, so you might have noticed that we sort of skipped Sector 3. Both races went to Sector 4 instead of Sector 3. Don't worry, we'll get to Sector 3 later, but for now we're in the water sector. And this sector is very interesting in terms of enemy layout, because as you can see Eagle doing here, you can run through most of the rooms without slowing down, just by shooting missiles at the correct angles and such, and it usually looks pretty cool. So very nice sector.
Yeah, Eagle with a flawless Sector 4 cleanup. It's really hard to get a route like that where you don't get hit and nothing is stopping you. So it's putting a lot of pressure on Monkey right now. Monkey not having the full health that he needs or the amount of health that he wants, because some of the fish in Sector 4 can do well over 100 damage. And,
the 1% fish.
Yeah, the 1% fish. The big purple fish does tons of damage. And if this one blocks his way and he tries to run through it, okay, good. He decided to stop there and kill it.
Have we seen someone?
Yes, we had a runner die to fish in the tournament.
That's really unfortunate. So the E-Tank Monkey picked up just now is really far out of the way, and you kind of pass by this E-Tank, but you can't pick it up then, so you have to take this huge detour to get it. And then once again, the room Monkey's in right now is a good example of enemies blocking your way.
Yeah, you pretty much you really have to be aware of the enemy patterns and which rooms enemy patterns are going to vary in.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think that how you respond to, how quickly you respond to the enemy patterns is also a thing.
That's one of those attributes where it's like a difference between lower level runners and higher level ones. A lot of the better runners probably know exactly how to deal with like most, if not every pattern a room can give you. While at lower levels, you'll see runners mostly will just be reacting to patterns.
Oh, Eagle not quite getting the 2-round. Let's call it a 2.5 round or something. But he does get the 2 cycle, the 2 shot Sarah, so that's good. And he gets that sweet spot.
Nice.
This is room for Monkey to catch up if Monkey can get the 2-round.
That's actually the interesting thing about those Core X's. Some Core X's have an odd number of missiles needed to kill them. So if you're doing double missiles and you land the first, and let's say you're like for the Ceres Core X has 5 missile hits, kill its Core X. If you land like the first 2 sets of doubles, it gets a lot easier to line up the sweet spot for the last hit because you're not worrying about trying to line up a double and a sweet spot.
Right.
What other cores do have odd numbers?
Oh no,
Plasma.
Monkey!
Oh boy. Oh.
So speaking of chances to catch up here, Monkey is not doing any of that. As you can see, he's wiggling Samus around in frustration.
Okay, gets the kill on the 3rd try though.
Yeah,
spawn double.
Yeah, falling into this boss during falling into the water during this boss is bad, but it's really bad if it happens during the first phase. Like, if you fall down, it's probably better to do it during the Core X part.
Yeah, either way, it is unfortunate. Monkey had a chance to catch up and he blew it, so Eagle is now going to push further ahead. And Eagle is already far ahead. He's leaving Sector 4, while Monkey has just picked up Speed Booster.
Oh, yeah, see, Eagle goes for low high. Someone said that you wouldn't want to do low high in 100%. Who was that?
It was... Okay, it's one of those things where, like, it was commonly stated that it was better not to go for low height there, because generally, like, if you do, you'll end up in that next room. But apparently, if you are fast enough and you like store your spark pretty much immediately and go back into the previous room, if you're fast enough with it, it's actually a little bit faster.
I think it might be faster for in-game time. Because you have extra draw transitions, and I mean, you do get to cross those rooms pretty quickly, so maybe it's... I mean, I don't know, but maybe it's worth it? Probably not much of a difference, though.
It's definitely minor, if nothing else.
Oh, Monkey's gonna get launched. Oh no, okay. Like something that Monkey did here that I mentioned, or not mentioned, but noticed is that if you plant a bomb while picking up items and the bomb explodes during that animation or the sequence, the text sequence, the bomb will still launch you. And Monkey, I think, was lucky enough that he was not touching the ground when he picked up that missile. So like, you might just like casually or carelessly plant bombs here and there, but you do have to be careful or mindful of where you're planting bombs, like near items and stuff.
Yeah. Is it the same in Zero Mission?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you grab an item in the air in Zero Mission and get hit by a bomb during that time, does it propel you?
Yes.
Or do you have to be on the ground?
Oh, in the air. So the infusion bomb jumping mid-air only happens when your velocity is 0. Like when you get to the point where you're that fraction of a second where you're actually suspended in air, is that when you're allowed to get hit by a bomb and propel. But in Zero Mission, as long as the bomb hits you, you're going to propel. I think is the way. I think if you're above the bomb's height, it doesn't matter what the velocity is, it still will launch you. So in Fusion, if you plant the bomb and you're mid-air suspended while picking up an item, it won't launch you because you still have a velocity. But the thing is that if you're actually on the ground, when the bomb explodes, it will launch you in the air, like in Sector 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that can be very annoying.
It is very annoying. You just have to make sure that, while it's all nice and fun to spam missiles and beams everywhere, that you don't lay a bomb when you're not supposed to.
Eager with the unbuffered shine break, nice. I noticed that he did not go for the optimal in-game time strats though. If you want to get, like, if you want to do really optimal strats, you would do old Bob skip here and pick up this item from behind. If you want to.
And if you're capable of, moving and making like a ton of jumps with a total window of 7 frames of air.
Yeah.
Just gotta, get good at that.
But I don't think Scotty does it, so probably nobody does. If Scotty doesn't do it, nobody does.
I don't think Monkey's gonna get... Yeah. Monkey got out of the ground there the way he's supposed to, but he didn't start running from the very end of the floor, so...
And another thing, too, was that you basically are not going to get that Shine Spark until you're pretty much right next to the door. So he also, it looked like he pressed down a little bit too soon for it as well. So even if he did, like, space himself properly, he still would have missed it.
Yeah. It's a very, very tight window to store Shine Spark there. It gives you just enough room. Oh my god. If you're gonna pause buffer, get it right, please. I think I mentioned this like a million times now while commentating. I hate pause buffering. And I hate when people pause buffer and don't get the strat correctly. Eagle with not so optimal box fight is gonna wait here for what seems like an eternity. I don't think he will be in PB pace after that mess.
It's very interesting to hear what some speedrunners consider to be an eternity. It's like those, like, what was it, 2 seconds or so?
Yeah.
That's like, in terms of speedrunning, that's like a year at least.
Yeah, like you're just watching Box crawl so slowly, and you're like, man, I'm pretty sure I'm an hour behind my PB now. And there's another boss that you don't want to do that to, and it's Nightmare. So, just make sure that you kill the boss where they're going to die. I don't know why the game has... well, I can understand for Box because he wants to jump away. But for Nightmare, I don't understand why he needs to go to that spot to die.
Yeah, I don't think it's the only boss that does that either. I think there's like a few where you gotta...
No. For the boss itself?
Well, no, what I'm thinking of is there are some bosses where you actually have to like stand next to them when they die, or else... Like you gotta walk, you have to go over next to them before they'll actually die.
Not that I can think of.
I mean, yeah, like Rosa said, Box moves to a certain spot, and then Nightmare does for some reason, but is there any other boss that moves to a certain spot?
That's what I was saying. I was wrong about that. I was getting it confused with something else.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of how some bosses require you to stand next to them when they die.
No.
No, I don't think it. All the other bosses die where they are. I mean, where you kill them, pretty much. Anyway, one of the downsides of playing in Japanese is that you actually don't get to read what Adam says and what Samus says. Because this game actually has a story, and it's not too bad of a story. Like, I mean, it's all about Adam and Samus' relationships, which some people might consider to be a bit boring, but yeah, that's why I don't like playing on Japanese, because even though by now I know the story by heart, I still enjoy reading through the text.
I think it's complete opposite for me in that I don't want to know what Adam is saying, so I play Japanese.
That is one way to see it. I wouldn't agree with you, but okay. So here we see Eagle not getting propelled, even though he got hit by a bomb. Let's see if he goes for the pattern. If not, he's disqualified. Okay, disqualified. So, side note here, you can see Eagle rolling back to activate this cutscene. You can glitch through the wall without activating SAX by doing like a weird wall clip with the reforming block there. But then you kind of sequence break the game, but you end up being stuck for multiple reasons. So you can glitch through the wall, but it's not worth it. Plus, you can't do it on Japanese, you can only do it on English. Another reason to run this game on English. Guys, if you want to start running this game, please run it on English.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Ooh, not so good pattern for Eagle.
No, but he does manage to get through the room as quickly as he can.
Yeah. Okay, so the room afterwards, you know the room afterwards with all these boxes that have like blue X hidden in them? I saw Paulson coming out of that lower left corner, and then he just ran straight to the right, you know? Just shooting and tanking those blue X. And I thought that's like actually quite interesting. It might be faster to just run through there.
I guess I suppose it matters where you get hit or where you get boosted to the left or to the right. Maybe like if you can get boosted to the right, I can see it being faster. But to the left, I'm not sure. What do you think?
Maybe, I mean, I haven't tried it, but maybe if you like, the moment you run into the blue X, you turn around, and then once the cold kicks in, you get boosted to the right. Maybe that would work.
Uh-oh, Monkey having issues here with SAX.
Look at that SAX!
Yeah.
Shooting the missile into the sky. Okay. He was probably aiming at the door, you know? SAX hates doors, so...
Yeah, that's true.
SAX like,
wants to destroy all the doors. So in the very beginning, like I said, SAX being very rude, like actually destroys a door right? But every other time that you encounter SAX, he opens the door as usual, or as you would a normal person. So I don't understand why SX decided to break the first door instead of just opening it regularly.
Yeah. I also don't think we've explained this boss actually. The boss Monkey is about to face.
Someone mentioned.
Is there anything special about this boss?
No.
The basic strategy is you want to damage boost your way into its core, and you want to unload the fully charged charge beam inside of it. And if you do it properly, you can finish the fight in 4 hits.
Yeah, Monkey not having the best core X fight.
Falling into the water again. He seems to do that.
Eagle doing the cool little shine spark there.
Well, he can get a gravity suit later and not worry about the water anymore.
True.
But at this moment, he needs to be careful because water will slow you down.
Another eternity lost there. So slow.
So someone mentioned in chat that Megacorex looks like Spore Spawn's mother. I would argue that Megacorex could actually be Spore Spawn's Spore Spawn. Because
Boss.
Spore Spawn is the time in terms of timeline. Spore Spawn comes before Megacorex.
True. That's bringing up some real interesting theories here.
Yeah, it's Megacorex is Spore Spawn's Spore Spawn.
Say that again, please.
Spore Spawn, Spore Spawn.
Okay, thank you.
Monkey having issues with the wall jumping here. And,
Monkey was just moving, so he didn't have to deal with the ouch on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing in Sector 6. Once you get to leave Sector 6, there are all these enemies spawning. And they're very annoying.
This is probably the first area where knowing the patterns can be really important.
Yeah, it's very helpful to know. Well, you can't really know the patterns that the puffers give you in Sector 6 because there are so many variations, because you have to consider each puffer has 4 different ways that it can go to, and when you start calculating every single puffer and try to predict where they go, then I'm pretty sure your head will just explode. So it's easier to kind of have a general reaction and plan for the puffers as soon as you see them, and not try to hope that it's this way and not that way.
Do they have set spawn points? Or does it vary as well?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's so random that I don't think anyone even bothered to
learn them all.
Yeah. I mean, in general, most enemies have 2 different spawning locations and different movement patterns, and they're for the most part easy to predict. But when it comes to puffers, they're all over the place. So it's not worth trying to predict anything from them. It's just better to react to them appropriately.
Yeah, Sector 5. Is there anything interesting you can do in Sector 5, Ross? Do you have any personal experience with Sector 5?
You don't go up here. You go to the right.
Yeah, okay.
There.
Sorry, man.
Monkey having a different way to get up there.
Down to 2.5 E-tanks.
Yeah, Monkey's been taking a lot of hits here, and the next time he's gonna pick up an E-tank is not anywhere here, I think.
Not for a while.
Yeah, so he kind of needs to be careful there.
Yeah, this room is another good example for enemy layouts. Like all these, what are they? UFOs.
UFOs.
Yeah, I don't know. Flying things.
Aren't they waivers?
Yeah,
waivers. I don't know, man. Yeah, they can come at you from different spots and very annoying.
Yeah,
you have to admit they do look like spaceships.
They look like R-type. What do you call them? Ships. Yeah.
Okay, so now Eagle is allowed to go up.
Yeah, he's allowed to go up. He has the ice missiles.
Okay, so what do you think? Which way is Monkey going to take? Like the correct way or the left way?
Oh, Monkey could do reverse ice.
No, okay.
Shattered my hopes and dreams. Monkey's having a lot of movement errors and inefficiencies. He really needs to watch his health here because at this point he's got less health than you would in any percent. So
and he's going into emergency too.
Yeah, going into emergency, like those stretchies hit you really hard. I mean, as you can kind of predict, the theme here for Metroid Fusion is that enemies hit you really hard. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of health. And Eagle now is in emergency in Franker Z. The chat is reminding us. Emergency is one of my favorite splits in that you can gauge how good you are by the time that's on the upper right part of your screen.
Yeah, this also proves that the game actually keeps track of in-game time seconds.
Yeah.
You know? But it doesn't display them at the end, which is...
yeah, and you can see here when we talk about in-game time and when it stops or when it continues, as you can see, whenever Samus is not on screen, in-game time pauses and will continue when Samus is back on screen. So door transitions, elevator transitions, and things like that. Even if you went into the nav room accidentally in Sector 3 and talked to Adam, you can see that the timer pauses there too.
Still annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a few people in the chat who regularly talk to Adam during emergency in Franker Z. I mean, it's an emergency. Why are you trying to talk to somebody?
Just to confirm, like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, but Eagle with some very nice movement here. I mean,
he had nice movement until he stopped.
Okay, now... Okay, for a second I thought my browser crashed, but Monkey's still going, so...
Yeah, Eagle has... He's been having some streaming issues lately, so I hope it doesn't continue this time. Like, his race against Scotty, it was a close race, but towards the very end, we kind of had to guess where Eagle was in relation to Scotty, because he froze just like this, and it was a close race too. So like everyone was all like tense, like where is Eagle at, and is Scotty actually leading, or is Eagle leading? So, but since Eagle stopped here, Monkey is definitely catching up now. I don't know what Eagle is doing. He's just like squandering his lead. Decides to, I don't know, freeze the game here.
Notably, he did disconnect from the Hex chat, so his internet probably completely went down.
Yeah. Luckily for Eagle, though, he is playing on console, so it does not affect him in any way other than he can't stream it. So hopefully his internet comes back up and he'll be able to come back to us here so we can commentate on him.
So in the meantime, we got one round left, luckily. Monkey also making his way towards emergency. And yeah, looking good on his side. The emergency is mostly the same, even though I think is there RNG involved in
Yes.
emergency?
Yes.
Like what, the flame pillars?
The flame pillars are one, and the giant side hopper coming up. Not giant side, but the regular side hoppers here coming up can be to the left or to the right, jumping up or on the ground like this. And obviously, Idor is another factor. But for the most part, it is pretty stable in terms of RNG. Like the pillars will only cost you maybe at most 1 second, and you know, if you're always fast enough in shooting your 3 missiles, you'll always hit that side hopper. So
nice double there from Monkey.
yeah, I think Eagle is trying to pull a Hercules here, and he's getting a pizza right at the oven or something.
Might be.
I mean, that's like the ultimate BM in a race. So Eagle is back on stream, and he finished. No, he's getting animals right now, so still considerably far ahead. Comparing to Monkey. Monkey needs to pull out all the stops if he wants to catch up to Eagle, who decided that he forgot to put pepperonis on his pizza. So he's gonna pause the game here and
okay, so Monkey in what's this room called? We need to give names to rooms like Super Metroid has it. We need it as well.
Monkey taking a huge dive. Can this be Red Tower? Can I say that?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna get banned from SM community even though I'm not in it.
It's completely original name. Do not steal.
Okay, Eagle getting like medium good RNG on the animals, I think. But animals aren't too costly, I think. Even in worst case, they don't like take more than a couple seconds to come out. So if you had to guess, would you say that animals RNG can cost you more time, or bug RNG in Zero Mission in like Upper Brinstar?
Oh, animals by far.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen some bad animals that ruin runs.
Yeah, but bugs, man, I think no, I would go with the bugs.
The longest I've seen for a troll bug is about 5 seconds. And I think that happened yesterday. So, but animals can take as long as like 10 seconds, it seems.
Wow.
But they can come out instantly. I think Mickey is the world record holder in the fact that he always gets perfect animals. There's not a single stream that I've seen from Mickey in which he doesn't get anything less than perfect animals.
Okay, now Monkey making his way up. Eagle's still frozen. What is it with his internet?
It seemed to be happening recently. I'm not sure, but this is the last match for Eagle, win or lose. Monkey going for impossible strats.
Nice.
And he gets it.
That is not easy.
Very, very swag-tastic. He's gonna have to do all the impossible. Oh no! We get a wind spark from Monkey here. He's gonna have to climb this room very slowly.
Okay.
Don't want to rush that. Absolutely do not want to rush that room.
Cool spark from Eagle coming up. Nice move and gets you through these rooms, and you have just enough time to start your spark in this room. On his way to power bombs, while Monkey grabs the Fred tank, one of the 2 missile tanks in this game that does have a name.
I honestly didn't know that missile tank had a name.
Hart gave it to it.
Fred. Oh,
Yeah, Fred.
This is when he was doing 0% runs.
Yeah.
I think he named it Fred because he would his any percent run would kick in, his mentality would kick in, and break the floor, the beam
Grab
blocks
the
go down. Yeah. I saw him once speed booster through the main deck elevator to get the missile on the left, and he didn't even realize what he did until like 5 minutes later, and he was like, "Wait a minute, why do I have 15 missiles?"
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Like when you don't pay attention to what you're doing, and you're doing like a dangerous category, like low percent, things can go bad really quick. Ooh, interesting strategy there from Eagle.
Yeah.
That might be too low.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. Okay, he gets it.
Okay. Lucky.
That's Eagle. He knew it was going to make it.
Okay, so that would be blue tower then? No, blue tower would be where you do reverse eyes. Oh, we should get these rooms some name.
This is the 3 Ripper power bomb room.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Eagle not doing the Kadoom climb.
Yeah, I don't think Eagle's one to do it. He, as far as I know, Eagle likes to keep things nice and simple.
True.
That room definitely should have been blue tower though.
Yeah. So what was this? What would this be?
This is the
very annoying. This is a very annoying room. So you don't get to see it, but most of those blocks are crumble blocks, and you have to freeze the rippers to create platforms. And if you fall down, it's annoying and costly time-wise. But Eagle getting through there, no problem. While Monkey picks up his power bombs. So in the next room, there's a power bomb tank that you want to pick up, and you can either use your ice missiles to freeze one of the rippers to create a platform to get to the power bomb tank, or you can do a wall jump. And okay, yeah, Monkey doing the wall jump, very nice there. That wall jump is quite tight. If you go too low, you don't get to grab the ledge, and if you go too high, you hit your head on the ceiling, and it's just like you have to hit the exact right spot on the wall. There's no real visual cue for it, so you kind of have to go by muscle memory. And there is an SX encounter in this room. Trust me, guys, there is SX in this room. You don't get to see it, but it's there.
I mean, you do get to see its ice beam for a little bit. A little bit too low for Monkey, though. Oh, no, it wasn't. That was like Eagle's shot, I guess. It was kind of... looked low, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Sector 5 is mostly considered to be the boring sector, because there's not a lot going on there. Like, it's mostly about movement, but there are no intense boss fights or anything. So yeah, loads of movement. Okay, Monkey going for the cool climb, not quite getting and doing in like a different version there. Meanwhile, Eagle heading back to the ship to talk to Adam once more. Yeah. Actually, why are you going? Oh yeah, the power stopped working.
A little bit too... I think Monkey could have made that jump, but it was just...
Okay, Monkey grabbing his power bombs. Eagle now on his way to the emergency power button to restore energy. And you can see all these plant things in the corners that might give you a hint where he'll head next after this. Is this the first place where you get to see space pirates?
No. Because it's all in Sector 1, remember? All throughout Sector 1.
Oh yeah, right. During the climb. Of course, yeah.
There's actually like a thing.
Why would they be in Sector 1? Okay, yeah, there's the restricted laboratories. Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
I was about to say, and that in the second time we visit Sector 1 as well.
Okay. I think I need to refresh my stream there.
Eagles Yakuza fight going really well, it looks like.
Yeah, this part of the boss fight can be very annoying because those jumps are random, like the direction and how far the head jumps. So, and because of the speed, you have to be very quick with your reactions.
Yeah, notably Eagle did miss a double at the start, but in the end that actually gave him a slightly easier time setting up the sweet spot at the end, so...
Yeah, this part is mostly about boss fights. Like, there's several boss fights coming up in a very short amount of time, so we usually go from boss fight to boss fight to boss fight.
So Monkey, he planted his power bomb way too high, and he's not going to be able to speed booster through this to the next room.
Oh, he did not break them?
No, he planted too high, and he realized what he did, so he just went anyway. Instead of waiting to plant another power bomb. Yeah, so I mean, it was good. It was a good recovery strat, I think, because having to plant the second power bomb is just too slow.
It's one of those things where it's good to be aware of like your mistake there.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll get to see a double boss fight here.
Oh.
That might be something. No, I think Eagle is a bit too fast. Slow down a bit, man. Or freeze again. Like, if Eagle freezes again now, we might get the perfect double boss fight. Okay, so yeah, Eagles.
Oh, we will see a double boss fight here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dead Idor.
Thank you, Idor.
Come on, do it.
Oh, come on, Monkey. There you go.
No. Okay.
I mean, with Netherite, it's not gonna be much of one, but.
Oh, Monkey getting the one round. Very nice.
Okay, so the core Eagles on, you can get doubles on this core, but it's kind of tight because the room is so.
Ooh, Monkey having a lot of difficulty
so
here.
The room is kind of tight. You barely have enough room to get the doubles in.
Seemed like he was gonna run out of health before Yakuza did.
Got a few doubles there in the end, though.
Yeah, the more missile expansions you get, the harder your doubles become. In the beginning with the regular missiles, it's not that hard actually to get doubles. It's fairly easy. But by now the runners have ice missiles, and ice missiles is still okay, I think, but it's still like it's not as easy anymore. Like, so you'll see them miss doubles occasionally, because the cooldown increases and the speed at which they travel also. I think they get slower.
No, what happens is every missile upgrade you get increases the cooldown before you can fire another missile, and it also makes the missile's acceleration go up.
Oh, okay.
So that means they get away from each other faster, so it's harder to...
And for these next couple bosses, they're going to have ice missiles. And then we'll see one more. Yeah.
Eagle mentioning in chat that he really wants to get a 104.
Right now, there are actually, I believe, 2 people with a 104 in this game for the 100% category, and that is JRP and Scotty.
Yep, and we'll see Scotty racing in the finals sometime later this week. So definitely want to watch Scotty coming out of nowhere.
It's true. It's insane.
To put this into perspective, Scotty was unseeded at the start of the tournament. Now, granted, because of how good he is in other Metro games, I think everyone kind of expected him to get like a really good time, but it's still pretty shocking.
Eagle getting the Shine Spark easy peasy. That gets you across all these rooms pretty quickly. There's a fast way to do it. Like, there's a guy in chat called Polesmore. He does a different strategy there occasionally that is faster if you get it, but much harder.
Why did they call him Polesmore?
I mean, you'd have to ask him that.
Monkey will not be able... Oh! Okay. He put the words right back in my mouth, but he just barely got that shine spark. He was very close to falling there. Falling down that little hole actually brings you all the way down to the floor if you're not quick enough to space jump back up. And it's pretty far drop.
Are you speaking from experience here?
You know, I heard from some stories here and there. But
who has?
Really, the only thing that could be worse is if you'd accidentally shine spark to left when you were going to fight Nethereye.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, that must be so painful.
Now, if you ended both.
Oh boy,
no,
like
I mean...
the overkill. And then in the tournament race, oh boy. No.
Oh yeah, that was you know.
Okay, so to get back to what's happening right now, Eagle facing Nightmare. Now we'll see what RNG gets here, and yeah, he gets the usual pattern. How does Nightmare work? Well, I think if I recall correctly, like the moment you enter the room, there's an invisible object spawning, and this object moves around the room. You can't see it, obviously, and this influences Nightmare's movement. Really nice core fight there. So, depending on what RNG you get on the invisible object, Nightmare can give you different patterns, and you'll usually get the same pattern, but sometimes Nightmare can behave really weird.
You usually get the same pattern if you beat the first phase at around the same time that you usually would. So if you are if somehow you're faster than the usual in the first phase, you'll get a different pattern. And in most cases, or the more common case of being slower than the usual, then you'll see Nightmare like kind of shoot all the way up instead of down like he did with Eagle's fight.
Okay, let's see if Eagle goes for the really fancy Scotty strat here. Nope.
No.
Okay.
Shame. That probably saves tons of time, the Coral Axe.
So not only has Scotty gotten a 104, he also came with a couple of new strategies, and one of them involves doing a really precise jump in the previous room, and then space boosting through this room, which is called the most annoying room in the game. Yeah, but that strategy is really hard, and Eagle didn't go for it, which is understandable.
I mean, if we can find a way to make that a easier strat, then the most annoying room in the game would be the most
intense room.
The most fun room in the game. Because you get to speed boost through all these things. It becomes significantly less annoying.
Yeah, so here's the room I was talking about earlier. Okay, Eagle didn't do it, but if you place a power bomb in the room Eagle is in right now and then step onto the platform, the power bomb will open the door while you unlock the doors, which is a bit weird, but it works. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't save time. So.
Basically, it doesn't really set the flag. It sets the flag for the doors being open, like as soon as you touch it, pretty much.
Eagle is not letting off the gas pedal here. He's trying his best to beat his PB. From what I understand, Eagle said that once he gets to 104, he's done with Fusion forever, or something like that. So let's hope he gets to 105. I mean,
yeah, we want to see more of that.
So you see here, Monkey not quite getting the quick phase 1 here. So we should expect that his pattern will be slightly different from Eagle's after this first wave. And there you go. Now he'll have to deal with strange movement from Monkey. Like, I mean, I guess it's strange, but it is how it works. If you're not fast enough on the first phase, you should expect something different. Oh, not the triple-double here from Monkey, so he'll have to finish off with one extra missile. Whew. Eagle almost bonked that tiny platform there on his second Shine Spark. But it looks like it was alright. At this point, Eagle is going to pick up the diffusion missiles and is one step closer to cleaning up. Diffusion missiles, in my opinion, are absolutely useless. They just make it harder for you to double.
Well, but they're pretty.
That's about all they got going for them, unfortunately.
It's pointless, in my opinion. Monkey not having a pretty bad, annoying room there. It looked alright to me. He got deboosted all in the right places. So Eagle is officially done cleaning up Sector 4. And he'll be on his way to the navigation room, where Adam will send him back to Sector 6.
Yeah, Sector 4 is a bit special, because later on there's going to be a part where you go back through all the sectors to get leftover items. And you go through Sector 4 as well, but you don't get any items there, because Sector 4 is the only sector where you can pick up all the items during your first visit. Well, your first and second visit.
Well, and another thing to mention too, when you're going through cleanup, each of the sectors has like an exit to the next sector, and the exit from Sector 4 until to Sector 6, I believe, is the order it goes in, which is the next sector you're going to clean up. The exit's literally, the entrance to Sector 6 from Sector 4 is literally right next to the way you come into Sector 4. So grabbing any items would be, and during cleanup in Sector 4 would be an additional detour. So that's like another advantage to getting everything else in your first couple of trips.
So, since I get to speak to Ross in person now, Ross, why didn't you ever pick up this category? What stops you? I mean, you picked up Zero Mission 100% as well.
Well,
oh, nice red drop there.
It's just too long for me, for my taste.
But it's, I mean, you like any percent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and you enjoy a run once in a while. So even though you don't necessarily want to PB or see a chance to PB, you still do runs occasionally, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so and 100% is like any percent, just more fun, you know? It's like more of the game, more cool tricks, and so on. So why wouldn't you do that? I can't quite agree with that.
I mean, Ross has already made it pretty clear that 2 seconds is a little bit too much for his attention span sometimes, so...
It's, to me, it's pretty tedious. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I know tons of people tried to convince me to do 100%, but my will is strong. And, oh, Eagle getting all his missiles in. If he can get 2 more shots here, he'll get a perfect fight. Unfortunately,
and he thinks.
Thank you. Say thank you to the commentator.
Xbox is just a cruel boss fight. His legs are notorious for blocking your missile shots.
Yeah, he was 1 missile off from getting a perfect fight, which would have saved him an extra jump, which is about a second. So he'll have to settle for second best box fight.
Monkey picking up his last item in Sector 4, while Eager is on his way to the secret sector. So at this point, okay, sorry guys, I'm talking about the storyline again. At this point, you don't really have a task to do or something to do. So you kind of have to find your own way now and find something to do. Also, this room Eagle is in right now is very nice. If you look at the background, you can see all like the different Metroids in the background. Yeah, 1 minute to escape this room.
Wow, Eagle with a very fast escape, 55.63, I think is what he posted for the time. That is top tier escape. 55 is what you want to go for. 55 low is the usual, but mid to high is like, that means that your space jumping is on point. It is possible to optimize space jumps so you get the most out of every A button you press. So doing it properly will actually save you time versus like, you know, just space jumping whenever. And I know, like, casually you don't really think about that. And even if you are speedrunning and not quite at that level, you don't even think about that. But these are things that like Eagle, someone like Eagle would keep in mind.
Ooh, interesting. I've never seen that there. So Eagle flew all the way to the top and then shot the missile downwards, right? And it gave him a very nice pattern on the rippers. I've never seen that. Man, you know, I think I should watch more runs.
I always wonder if that E-Tank wasn't there, how long it would have taken people to try and actually freeze the rippers with diffusion missiles there.
Yeah.
If you don't need to pick it up, you don't have to freeze those 3 rippers. Like, if you jump as soon as you enter that room, and you space jump properly, like I mentioned, you can hug the left wall and avoid all 3 rippers.
Huh. So I guess never.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, gold pirates. Ooh, Eagle missed a shot there.
Oh, and he does not quite get the kill on the second shot there for the second part. So he's going to lose a little bit of time here. I have been seeing runners shoot at the gold pirates as if you would shoot SAX in the final fight. I'm assuming that it guarantees that you don't have to shoot at it twice.
Oh yeah, like diagonal shots, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Monkey not quite having the best box 2 fight here, but keep an eye out on what he's going to attempt to do for the Core X here. Something that a lot of the community regarded as an impossibility, it would be doubling the Core X, and Monkey's going to try it. And I can't really tell if he's going to get it here because of the diffusion missile effects. And it looks like he couldn't pull it off because he's going to shoot, kill the Core X in 4 shots. But he did post some videos of doubling on the Core X, and it seems like it's not a task-only thing, and that it is actually possible for humans to do it.
Yeah. It was considered to be task only.
It was considered that even TAS had difficulty doing it. But apparently Monkey found a way to do it.
Which is cool. I think that was like the last double that had to be solved.
Yeah.
I mean, like a couple of years ago, people considered like almost every double to be TAS only. I think that the first double that was actually kind of solved was the one on Charge Beam Core. Because you can do like a very easy setup there. I think that was one of the first doubles that people started doing.
Yeah, for the Beam Core X's, Wave Beam is literally the only one where like we don't really go for any on it anymore.
Well, that might change soon once Monkey is able to present a consistent way to do it, because he did post some videos showing that it's not a task only thing.
Now, while Monkey's having some serious talk with Adam, Eagle already started his cleanup, so that means, since this is 100%, he now goes back through all the sectors and collects all the leftover items. And most people consider this to be the most intense part of the run, because it's about 18 minutes and there's no text or monologues in there, and it's all about movement and loads of tricks and loads of shine spark tricks. So as you can see Eagle doing here, keeping his shine spark. This power bomb is also technically one of the power bombs you can get early. One thing we haven't mentioned, you can get power bombs early in this game. There's several expansions that you can get early on, but it doesn't actually give you power bombs. In fact, it does nothing. But once you then collect the main upgrade, you start with more power bombs.
If you could get power bombs early and it does show up in your weapon selection, how would that affect the route?
Let's see, what would be... I think the first early power bombs is the one in Sector 3 after box. You know, the one to the left.
Uh-huh.
So after that, what could you do with it?
Okay, so for the animals one, it would pretty much be useless if we went for the animals early power bombs, because you literally get power bombs right after that.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't really gain anything.
I think, can you use power bombs to destroy those big barriers? You know, these plant things?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you could probably then go back to the main deck. You know, where you usually fight SAX. I mean, it doesn't do anything since you can't secret break the game, but technically.
Well, like if Adam tells you to go back to Sector 5 to get power bombs, you could use that navigation or that data room at SAX instead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be something. So, like, when Adam tells you to go to a specific data room, do you have to go to that very data room, or?
I don't know.
Is there a point where you can choose between two data rooms? I don't think so.
There isn't. Monkey's having a lot of difficulty with Ridley for some reason. But he does manage to get the kill. It seems like Monkey is trying to fight bosses, but it's like a battle of attrition whose health is going to go down first. Monkey seems to be winning that. Every time there's a boss fight, he's losing so much health.
And 100%, the war of attrition there is definitely in Samus's favor, though.
Yeah. Oh, in any percent, you'd be dead instantly.
But Ridley in general, Ridley can be a really annoying fight. Like, it's just one of those things where you just kind of have to put up with the fight.
Okay, Paulson was saying that it's not possible to go back to main deck room. So during cleanup, there are loads of places where you can usually do Shine Spark to get through rooms or get through items, but then there's always the possible space boost that can be faster, but harder. So one of them was where Eagle just was to pick up that E-Tank. He did a small space boost there. You can do Shine Spark there, but it's slower. And we got another place like that coming up in a minute or so, where he once again gets to choose between either Shine Sparking or Space Boosting.
Which is always the best part. Space Boosting saves you a lot of time, but it's much riskier than Shine Sparking. So I know that Eagle is going for PB here, so he's gonna... Oh no! What? Commentator's curse is so real, man. Like, every time I talk about Eagle PBing or doing something, you know, difficult, he like screws it up.
That is very unfortunate, because at first it looked like it was okay. You know how the game sometimes corrects you a bit? Yeah, it looked like it would happen, but it didn't.
So that's what I thought he was close. Whenever you're like slightly off, because like what Manto was talking about was whenever you're doing like a Shine Spark like that, if you're off like a few pixels or something, the game will kind of like correct you into the passageway sometimes. And it looked like Eagle was close enough to where that would have happened, but it did not.
And it's very fortunate that the game allows that, because there are a lot of places where if there wasn't the correction function feature, then you'd be bonking everywhere. It would seem like. We actually abused that correction in Sector 2 after killing Nettori to get out of Shine Spark faster. But
oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that's the only area I think. Oh, actually, and there's one in Sector 6 just before Box 2, where you can do that. Where you go to the restricted area, you Shine Spark up. There's a spot where you can Shine Spark. If you do it quickly, you'll get hit out of the bonk animation by those bugs.
That one's not as hard as the earlier one. Sector 2 one, I don't think.
Whenever there are doors involved and having to do Shine Spark after a door transition, it seems easier because you get time to like collect yourself and know when to press down or whatever.
Yeah, makes the timing easier on some occasions.
Yep.
Okay, there's another hard strat here for Eagle you could do. Okay, you can do like a jump there to break. Like he did a Shine Spark up, and he did that to break the blocks. And you can also just jump there, but the jump is very tight.
So Eagle's now in Sector 5. Eagle almost forgot to go up. Fortunately, he did remember. It would suck so hard to win by several minutes only to get 99%. I don't know. I can't tell you that through my experience, but I know a few runners like Mickey or somebody like who can. If you ask Mickey how it feels like, you can ask him. He'll tell you.
Make sure to explicitly mention that Ross made that suggestion.
Yes.
So that way in the future Mickey knows who to yell at.
Unfortunately, there aren't any giant side hoppers in this game. Because Mickey, I can refer you to Mickey once again on how it feels like to die to giant side hoppers. Oh, Monkey missing up the space boost. He's gonna have to go back and redo the Shine Spark this time, right? Oh, he's gonna do a space boost once again. And he gets it the second time around. So at this point, Eagle is going to be doing a lot of fancy strats here. Keep your eye on Eagle's stream. He's going for the space boost, as expected. Like he's chasing that PB. So, oh, and he gets it first try, easy every time.
Eagle's gonna make some of these strats look really easy, but they are not. A lot of these space boosts are extremely difficult and pretty tight.
The next room coming up, though, can save Eagle time, I think, if he does get the other space boost. We will have to see.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed it. Did Eagle get the space boost?
Yes.
He did.
Nice.
Oh, no, not the next room, but the room later. Did he go through the... No, he didn't.
No, that room's still, like, that's one of the last things he does.
Yeah.
The crumble blow room.
The next little space boost thing is just the jump at the end of this.
Well, I have seen runners screw this up in the tournament, so, I mean, I wouldn't count Eagle out yet, but Eagle is far too experienced.
He only broke one block. Interesting.
Wow, super efficient.
He really wants that PV now.
So, has anyone actually, like, accidentally shine sparked up that shaft?
Oh boy.
No.
No,
I don't think anyone has. I've seen people break the speed booster blocks but fall through, and then because those speed booster blocks reappear like really quickly, and I've seen people break the blocks, go over it, but fall through, and they get locked out. Eagle is going to attempt one of the harder tricks in the game. But I don't know that he's one to do the spring ball method, so he usually unmorphs as soon as he's able to, which is the much more consistent strat. And it's not as fast as spring ball, but it will get you there on the first try almost every time.
Yeah, jumping off a crumble block is a frame perfect trick, so it's one of those things where the runners want to be. Ooh, not quite.
Ooh, you almost shot right there. That would have caused all the pillars to rise.
Luckily,
okay, but
he caught himself.
Now he can go for the space boost out if he wants.
Yeah, is he gonna do it? I think yes. Oh, come on.
No, okay.
I was gonna say I think no, but I figured to make him that guess after Gary started to shine spark was not valid. So Eagle, on his way to do the Sector 4 cleanup,
Oh yeah, that one isn't. I remember.
Sector 4 cleanup consists falling down a very difficult shaft to fall down, and absolutely nothing else.
And breaking blocks at the bottom, like, don't forget that. There you go. Okay, nice.
Yep.
Nice one there.
Extremely difficult
Sector
execution.
4.
Pretty sure that was a PB for those extremely difficult execution.
That's
there.
got to be a gold split.
Yep.
And here comes Eagle's favorite part of the game, the Crumble City. A lot of runners really love this room because it is full of challenges, and Eagle almost ruining his PV run. Fortunately, he was able to recover.
Yeah, so pretty much every block in this room is crumble block. That's why Eagle was space jumping around instead of walking on those areas.
In
so
Eagle's...
that's probably one of the most difficult items to get, like, in a Metroid game.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you do this casually. Like, on the first try, you will probably always try to walk on those blocks. I mean, why wouldn't you? Look solid.
Well, I mean, if they just give us X-ray scope,
Yeah.
you can see that all the blocks are crumble blocks.
Okay, Eagle is by now in the last sector of cleanup.
Yep, just about 3 or 4 more items to pick up here in Sector 2, and he'll be done.
I believe
Fusion
it's
is very linear in terms of routing, so cleanup is the only thing that has like variations in it. And for a long time, people used to do different cleanup route. And then about, when was the change? About 3 years ago, maybe?
I want to say it was 2013.
Okay, around that time, the route changed. So now the cleanup ends at the main deck, which is pretty cool, pretty fortunate. I don't actually know where the old cleanup route ended. Would it be Sector 1?
I remember the old route used to be even numbers first or something like that. Or I can't remember.
Yeah, it was even. It was basically the opposite of the current route.
So where would you have the long talk with the old route?
Sector 1?
Yeah?
Just like in any percent?
Okay, yeah, that might be. So now you have it on the main deck.
Oh, Monkey tried to go for the spring ball. As I mentioned, it's significantly harder to try the spring ball, and it, like, if you just unmorph and let's grab, you'll find that it is much easier to do. This is the 3rd try now. 4th try.
Oh yeah. Oh, Eagle, no.
No, Eagle, please.
He ran into the wall. Okay, Monkey got the jump.
I don't think this is gonna be a PB for Eagle. Why?
Oh. And he still has to do like the hard part of all of this.
Oh, please pause buffering. No, I need
Oh, he grabbed the ledge. Oh, no. So you can like store your Shinesburg at the top and then fall down through all those blocks or whatever that is, and then break the blocks at the bottom. But that's super tight. You could grab the ledge there, which is obviously not something you want to do.
In an ideal world, we would be able to have a button that just turned off ledge grabbing at will.
Yeah. Maybe you could like set off a power bomb and then fall through there.
Oh, that's actually a nice idea.
It is,
but I don't think you'll have time for that.
Oh, Monkey, having some huge troubles opening that door. Okay, so yeah, Eagle is now done with cleanup, and as you can see,
he has
is
one more
back at
thing
the
to grab.
main deck. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Like the last item. Have we seen some deaths to that item? Has anyone skipped that item? Like the last one?
I don't think so.
Because the last item is fortunately right at this spot where you have to go anyway, and it's a power bomb tank, and that's one of the power bomb tanks you can get early with a Shine Spark. But yeah, no reason to do that. But since you have to go through here anyway, we grab it now. And Eagle's timer just turned red. That means he's not on PB pace anymore.
Whew. That's a shame. Pennywise wins this round again. Eagle just has to commit. He has to go down the manhole or the storm drain and actually commit.
Maybe if he has like really bad text meshing and extra door transitions.
See, that's something that you always hope for.
And it never happens.
It never happens, yeah. I did not notice any significant time loss to text meshing for either runner.
Or he'll get like a magic triple on the core now. Save around.
See, but you'd have to do 2 triples to save a round.
Oh,
otherwise,
yeah,
you're gonna get a 3 round anyway. Or maybe Eagle can figure out a way to get a 3-shot sax.
Oh, I think Taz does that. He could do the Taz strat. Like Taz does screw attack in between. Here we go. No, doesn't look like Taz strats.
That's not even a 4-shot, it's a 5-shot. Yeah, the first beam seemed a little bit too low.
No soft lock. Seriously, I've never seen anyone soft lock there.
Just the once.
Yeah, just watch Paul's Morris race against Scotty in the finals. I'm sure it'll happen.
True that. Okay, so 2 doubles for Eagle. As we mentioned earlier, he's got diffusion missiles by now, which makes the timing a lot harder. But this room is so huge that you actually have plenty of space to set up, which works in your favor. Still not easy.
Alright, start the timer. Countdown has started and Eagle is on his way to throw BSL into SR388.
Is that the
name? My gosh, Monkey! No, is that something Monkey did on purpose? I don't.
I am like 99% sure he did.
Who presses down on a crumble block?
I think he did the same thing during the last race I saw him do, so I'm pretty sure that's on purpose.
You don't press down on a crumble block.
I actually don't think that's any slower if you're not even going to get the spark.
Ooh, low height. Zero mission 100% hard is not boring. You get to do the cool dog clip. Okay, final boss here. That's something about the SAX. You know, if the SAX just moved a bit to the right, it would get sweet spot and just kill the Omega, but it didn't.
So Eagle here is going to finish with a time of...
Still ticking.
My guess is 139.52.
You know, this ship is so close. It's so slow. It takes at least 3 eternities to fly into the hangar.
So, wait, this is something else I don't understand. Samus gets picked up by her ship, and the ship flies into the camera, right? Isn't there a wall there? Where?
I assume there's some magic involved. I don't know. Maybe like there's like 2 doors to the hangar, one on each side. Or the ship flies towards you and then turns around and flies back out.
It didn't turn around. It just flew into the camera.
No, you just don't get to see that. You know, they cut out at that point.
I don't know about this. So I'm going to assume that the hangar of BSL is something similar to those that you see in Star Wars, where there's a giant gate where all the planes fly in and out of. There's one way in, one way out.
Yeah, but in Star Wars, like, there's lots of space. They can turn around there. So because like it had to fly in, and also it had to turn around to fly back out. That's why it flies. Maybe. Did I manage to convince you?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think that what happened was the Omega had just like already started attacking the ship before you got there, and then Adam got the ship out after the Omega destroyed the wall.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna watch this again on Monkey's side. But I'm pretty sure.
Or it could just, you know, be a gate.
You can see, like, there are several, like, maybe 3 gates that you can see in that area on that side. And I don't think that there would be another set of gates on the other side. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is not a carrier ship. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Get your point.
This is a research lab.
I mean, you know, the place you start off in is a gate because you see it like open up at the very start of the game.
Oh, Monkey going for horizontal strats here. I like how Paulsmore does his horizontal strats here. He gets up close to SAX so that he can include the flare in the charge. It's something that you don't usually think of when you decide to go horizontal strats. But Paulsmore is handicapped in a way that he can't do diagonals properly, so he's forced to do horizontals, and he makes the best of it.
Yeah, that's the price you have to pay for playing on freaking keyboard.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Like, the biggest problem there is that, like, Paulsmore playing on keyboard, it, like, has his keyboard at least has limited number of, like, buttons that can be held down at once. But I'm pretty sure you can get keyboards that don't have that limit in place, so I think it's just a case of you would need to get a keyboard where that limit didn't exist. I could be wrong, though.
Alright, we're gonna come up on Eagle's in-game time here.
Come on, 104, fingers crossed.
No, numbers are red.
Oh well, he had red numbers on his 105 as well. So, come on, Ross. Don't shatter my dreams.
I'm being realistic here.
No!
There you go.
No.
Unfortunately, Eagle is not able to get the 104 in a race. However, getting a 105 in the tournament is very, very strong. So, Eagle pulling off the win here against MonkeySMB for 3rd place and bragging rights for everyone but up to 2 people. So, congratulations to Eagle. Alright, so we see that there's a garage door in the background.
Okay, yeah. So
We know that is okay. You know that is a gate because you cut in the very beginning of the game, and I don't know, maybe with the main deck file it skips over it, but like you see a cutscene in the very beginning where you see the gate opened, and then it closes behind you once the ship gets in.
Yeah.
So obviously Adam saw that, probably had some way of knowing the Omega was coming or something, and just decided to like bail out before it got there.
I don't know. So you have to keep in mind that on the right side there's also a big hole, because that's where the Omega jumped in. So maybe that's the way you take out.
It's going right at us. Look.
Oh, you can, but like at the very end, you can see that it turns right a bit. You know.
Then it just crashes into...
No. It goes through the hole that the Omega made.
My way of thinking is there's like a hole on both sides, but since we're seeing it from that view, we don't actually see the hole on our side.
But anyway, congratulations once again to Eagle, and I guess congratulations to Monkey for making 4th place in the tournament. I want to see if any of the runners will come in for interviews. Eagle is here.
We're both here.
Yeah, we're both here. Congratulations, Eagle, on your not 104 run, but they're very close to a 104. How do you
I think it
feel
was
about
a
your
lost
race?
cause anyway, like from the beginning. As soon as I went into cleanup, I knew that would not be enough time.
I see. I mean, yeah, we did see like a few movement errors prior to cleanup, like your terrible box 1 fight and your
terrible.
well, that's the only thing that I actually noticed.
I could conceivably have gotten a 104, but then I think I would have needed like a perfect cleanup, and that rarely happens. I mean,
Yeah,
it is
you felt-
below average for sure, but even then, like it rarely happens that I get a super good cleanup. My cleanup in my PB is just really solid for the most part.
Yeah, but I think there weren't any major mistakes except for that maybe that Sector 3 thing where you have to do that very long spark up.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
I had plenty of time too for the shine spark, so I had no reason to spark early in the first place, except I wanted to save as much time as possible. And I really thought I aligned myself correctly. I was very surprised that didn't work.
Yeah, we were talking about that because we were thinking the same as you, that the game would correct you there, but it didn't happen.
Nope. Must have been really close. Everything else in Sector 6 and 3 and a bunch of other sectors went okay. It's just 2 was garbage.
Yeah, you fell through the crumble blocks in the Shine Spark chain room.
I mean, if you watch the video again, you can clearly see me like angling my cannon down. So I did press down at some point, but I guess I like did not let go of L at the right time or something. So
yeah, I mean,
oh well.
Now that the tournament's over, any hope that we're going to see you attempt to get the 104, or are you done with Fusion for a while?
So apparently, like my stream setup turned to crap recently. I'm like either I'm dropping at 6,000 frames, or I'm having audio issues, or I'm having Amory crashing, or just a million issues. So I'm not even sure I could be bothered to stream at that rate, and I'm kind of not interested in 104 anymore. I got really lucky in this run because I got like no beams for the first 2 idlers, and usually if I want to get a good run started like that, it takes me hours and hours of trying. Because like RNG is dumb, right? So yeah. It's a stupid.
It seems like you get good RNG for idlers when it comes to races. That one run that you had where you had literally just 1 beam the entire run.
Yeah, maybe I should just race more, and like that'll fix my RNG issue.
Yeah. All right, and congratulations to Monkey for getting 4th place in the tournament. Posting a time of a 1:11. Any hopes to improve your time, or are you just gonna say, you know what, I'm 4th place, I'm better than almost everyone else?
I definitely want to get a 110, or at least probably a sub 110, and then I probably want to take a break and learn ZM Hundo. and then get a 110 in that before Ross.
No, it's not happening. But you can hope. I mean, doesn't hurt to hope, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that run was bad. I made a lot of really stupid mistakes, and I still PB'd by like 20 seconds.
You still Oh, you did PB. Nice.
Yeah.
So there's room for improvement. Are we going to see you stream some more Fusion?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unfortunately for you, Fusion tournament is over. So.
Well, not quite.
Well, maybe over for Monkey, but we still have the grand finals match.
That's true. We have the grand finals match.
According to the schedule, is Wednesday at 5:30.
Yep.
Eastern time.
Ooh.
Definitely something to watch. Eagle, Monkey, who are you going for? We have experienced Paulsmore who's been playing Metroid Fusion 100% for many years, and then we have up-and-comer C. Scotty W, who just blew the world record right out of just one month of playing.
Let's be real here. Paulsmore doesn't have a chance. He's gonna
yeah
eternal second place.
To be honest.
Well, yeah. So let's look at this statistically. Okay, Paulsmore in all of the GBA Metroid races and tournaments has always gotten second place. He is 100% in second place. Statistically speaking, he's going to be second place for the race coming up. Am I wrong?
He's never even gotten a 105, man.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
I mean, again, neither
and
is
Scotty just casually skipped that.
Yeah, Scotty, on the other hand, has never seen a 105, and he never will. So, so that means for Paulsmore, he's gonna have to get a 106 or better if he hopes to beat Scotty.
But
I'm hopeful for a close race, but I'm not betting on it.
Because on the other hand, that means if Paulsmore gets a 105 during the final race, statistically he'll win. Because Scotty won't probably see a 105.
And he never will.
Yeah.
No, he'll just get another 104.
Yeah, he'll just get another 104.
Okay.
Nah, he'll get a 103.
Oh.
Easy.
Ooh.
Okay, so Monkey, what do you think? Will Paulsmore win or will Scotty win?
I'm gonna have to go with Scotty. I think if Paulsmore plays well and Scotty plays just not well at all, Paulsmore can pull it out, but I think it's just a better chance that Scotty's gonna win.
So you're saying that even on Scotty's off day, he is much better than Paulsmore at his best?
Yes.
I'd say they're about equal.
So Scotty is equal on his off day is equal to Paulsmore at his best.
Just about, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, congrats to Paulsmore on getting second for the fourth time in a row.
Paulsmore actually practiced. Maybe he would get it.
All right, so we're gonna pop the champagne here for Paulsmore for getting a good old silver medal, something that Paulsmore is quite used to. So I can't wait to see who will really come out on top on Wednesday.
Yeah, until then, everybody, I guess thanks for tuning in.
I know I'm going to bed. So good night.
Yeah, thanks to our two races. See you next time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at the schedule here, and it looks like we have the Final Fantasy 1 randomizer that's going on right after this. So we're done with our interviews and everything, and we should not hold them up any longer. And I'm gonna turn it over to Feasel. Oh, once again, thanks to Feasel, thanks to Speed Gaming for providing all of this to us. And Have a good day. We'll turn it over now to the Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer Tournament right after this. Have a good night, everyone.